Once again, we got Sammy here.
Thanks for
How you
having me
doing?
here.
First time?
First time ever.
Oh, you don't feel weird with this guy having cut sleeves on the Cowboy jersey? Like you're cool with it?
As long as he doesn't flex out, I'm good.
I never
I'm good.
flex. I never flex. Sammy, how long have you been with Remarkable?
I've been remarkable about 3 months.
3 months already.
Fresh.
A lot of people hear about hospice and they see it as a stigmatized word. You know, we think negative when we hear hospice.
Yep, scary word.
How do you deal with that?
But you know, when I first meet with people, when doctors call me, the first thing I ask them is, what do you think about hospice? What have you heard about hospice? When you hear the word hospice, what do you think? And most people say end of life. And actually what hospice is quality of life. Quality of life when you need it the most. And that's how I usually start my conversations with families, so I can help them feel at ease, make them feel comfortable with what's to come. Because I always make it a positive thing instead of a negative thing. Because, you know, really, the reality is nobody knows.
Nobody knows. At what point do they call you?
Yeah, what's the
Routine.
process?
Yeah, so usually I cover quite a few accounts here in El Paso, and I call them accounts because they're clinics, doctors, hospitals. And when they have a patient that no longer is seeking aggressive treatment, or their illness is to the point where they qualify.
The point
for
of
the-
no return.
Yeah, kind of,
yeah.
where they qualify for the highest level of care that they can have outside the hospital. That's when the doctors, the clinics, nurse practitioners, that's when they call me to come talk to those families and try to put their hearts at ease with the service.
How does that happen? How do you just go in and say, hey, lost cause? I mean, it takes dedication.
You know, first of all, I love what I do. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I wouldn't do anything else. You know, the first thing I ask the family so that they can know that I'm there for them is I ask them, what are the doctors telling them? What are the hospitals telling them about their loved ones, so I can know about them?
Okay, so you go in doing intel.
Yeah, I go in,
Intel.
I find out what's going on first before I address the situation, because every patient is different, every illness is different, you know, so I can't go in there talking about a patient that has cancer if they have something like cirrhosis, or they
Gotcha.
you know, Alzheimer's. So I like to find out what's going on in the background, what the patient did when they were younger, family dynamics, what the doctors are telling them in the hospital. So
Okay.
I find that out first. And then from there I lean into, you know, the ways that we can help them in home, or the different ways that we can help them anywhere that they want to call home. The qualifying factors for each individual illness is different, you know, but most patients, it's usually when they no longer want to go to doctors anymore, when they no longer want to go to the hospitals anymore, when there's no longer an opportunity for aggressive treatments. You know, some patients are just, you know, like Alzheimer's patients, they're no longer walking, they're no longer eating, you know, they're no longer talking. You know, they need, those families need a lot of help. You know, they're up all night taking care of their loved ones, and they need somebody to give them that support.
And I think that's the issue, right? That a lot of loved ones had to do what a nurse could be doing,
Right.
and not lose their quality of life, right? Because they
Right.
lose quality of life when
Yes.
when they're having to care for a loved one that is taking all their energy and all
Right.
their. So it is a big help for those people.
It's a huge help. You know, a lot of people hear that H word and they get, no, mama's not dying. But they actually don't have to be dying. They just have to qualify for that, to qualify to the point that they need that help. You know, I have patients that have been on hospice for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, almost a year. They're ill, they're very ill. They qualify for hospice, but they're not actually dying.
Oh wow!
So that's a big misconception here, you know, in any city. And here in El Paso, the hospice benefit is the least utilized benefit than in the whole state of Texas. So El Paso uses the hospice benefit less than any other city in town. So
Like it comes in with healthcare plans and stuff.
yeah, so it's a
wow.
Medicare benefit. They call it a benefit because these people that usually have hospice, they've worked all their lives. They've earned the right to have this service when they need it the most. So Medicare actually calls it a benefit. So here in El Paso, due to our culture, you know, they're like, no, pues I don't need any help. My tia, my sobrina, my comadre, my families, you know, our culture is one of my biggest challenges, one of my biggest barriers.
I think so. I was about to say that I think we're the only culture that still has our grandma in the back room,
Right.
and other cultures are like they're ready to let go right away.
A lot
right?
of times, you know, I think it just depends. It varies by family, but I think here in El Paso, our Latino culture, you know, that's one of the biggest barriers that I usually have to break to help them understand the reality of the benefit that this service is going to give their family. You know, because not everybody understands that, not everybody sees that.
Also, a lot of people don't like to accept the fact that there's nothing else that can be done for a certain patient.
Right.
And
Right.
That's gotta be the main one, right?
I think that's gotta be the main one, because I've heard where they're not allowed to eat anything because of certain situations, gastrointestinal tubes, etc. And people get mad. People are like, "Hey, you're starving
Right.
my aunt. You're starving
Yeah.
so and so, and this is cruel and unusual punishment."
Right.
And you have to go in there and kind of
Yeah.
educate, right?
And it's funny that you bring that up because our culture, food is love, right? Food is familia. So when they stop eating, it's not really because they're under hospice, it's really because of the disease process. And I have to help families understand that we're not starving them, they're not starving themselves. It's actually the diagnosis, it's the disease progression that they're no longer wanting to eat. You know, like when we get sick, we catch the flu, we get COVID, whatever it is, we don't want to eat either, right? And you multiply that times 100 times more, and you've got these patients that are extremely sick. A lot of times they don't want to eat. Their systems aren't working like yours and mine, so they don't want to eat. So I tell the families it's not the hospice services that's going to end their life. It's the disease progression. They're going to spend their last days because of the disease progression, not because of the hospice services.
And that's when hospice comes in to provide the best level of care during that
Right.
process, so that they're not in pain, and they can be as comfortable as possible, right? Am I
Right,
correct?
yeah. Yeah, our nurses go in and they evaluate for pain, anxiety, sleep, respiratory, infection, swelling, vomiting, diarrhea, nausea. So we'll order all the medication that the patients need, we'll deliver it, and we pay for it.
Oh,
So the
wow.
families don't even need to leave their loved one's side, they just stay there and we take everything to them.
Yeah. So it makes it a lot easier,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Trying to go, like, why would somebody say, "I need Sammy," opposed to somebody else?
Right.
What would you say? You landed here and you
Right.
love it.
Oh, I
Why
love
would
it.
you say this is why you should come to us?
You know, so I've been with about 5 different agencies in the past. And you know, me, myself, the way I check myself to make sure that I'm with the right agency is I ask myself a few times a week, I get up and I'm like, you know what? If my parents needed this service, is this the agency that I would bring my parents to?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I'm not going to trust somebody else's mom, somebody else's dad with an agency that I don't trust. You know, there's nothing more beautiful when I walk in there and I talk to these families and I'm walking out and somebody's mom me está dando la bendición. Gracias, mijo. Gracias por ayudarme. You know, and this is more than just a job, man. It's got to be more than just a paycheck. And that's why I love what I do. And that's why I'm doing it.
You did leave prior agencies.
Yes, I did.
Agencies.
Yes.
Because of the lack of,
Right.
right? Like, what was the issue? Like, how are they so bad that you say?
I tell you, man, there's a few different times that I've left various agencies because, you know, I'll walk into the office and I'll find out that there was like a failure in care. And it's stuff that usually can be resolved. And the unfortunate reality is sometimes those issues that come up are due to other people's decisions. You know, like bosses, administrators.
Oh, okay.
And you know, it's not when you focus primarily solely on the patient and you focus on that family, you're always going to do the right thing. And when the right thing is no longer being done, that's when it's time for me to move.
And at that point, it's out of your hands, right?
Right.
Like if they change, let's say for example, they change CEO and that person that does have an idea and they start making decisions, either being staff, lessening staff, or hiring people they shouldn't hire, those trickle down to you because you're selling, in essence, a company. And when that company can't deliver, it falls on you.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, you know, like you said, some of those decisions, they're higher up, whether it be an owner or an administrator or whatever it is, those are decisions that they're being made that are out of my control. But what is in my control is who I can work for.
True.
That's my right, that's my decision to choose who I want to work for. And if my morals, my values do not align with, any of those previous agencies that I've been with, and like I said, there was 5 other agencies, then I'm gonna move so I can make sure that I can take care of my patients.
With that being said,
Remarkable is a nationwide company. It's a nationwide hospice agency. When I interviewed with this agency, the owner was down in town. And one of the things that he said was, Sammy, I will do whatever it takes to take care of your patients. And that made a huge impact on me, because the next thing he said is like, I don't want to be the biggest, but one thing I want to do is I want to be the best. And for me, being the best is quality of care, putting the patients first. And when you put the patients first, that's what matters to me.
no.
Because that means they're putting my parents first, they're putting your parents first, and that's what those patients deserve.
Growing up, did you ever think you were going to do this?
Like growing up, I really didn't even know what I was going to do growing up.
Really? Where'd you start? We always talk about first jobs,
Man, I grew up right here down the street on Tula Rosa Street
Central.
till about 3rd grade, and then we moved to Northeast.
Not those people that cut up their sleeves, those are the people that grew up in the
Flex out.
I didn't say you cut them.
I'm not flexing though.
No one said you flexed.
So you go to the Northeast,
I moved to Northeast, I
like
graduated from
school.
Urban.
Urban? Oh,
Yeah,
Urban.
yeah.
Okay. And then
My first job was at Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors.
31 flavors.
I've had a lot of different jobs.
Really?
I've done everything from bartending to...
Where at?
I was a bartender at the Embassy Suites.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
like bugs.
My favorite customer at Embassy Suites was Don Haskins.
Really?
Don Haskins
Holy
used to go
crap.
up there and he used to drink all the time. We'd sit there and talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool guy. Then from there, I had so many jobs. I was a bailiff at the courthouse.
Bailiff too.
Yeah, I did that for almost 15 years, man.
Then how did you get from all that to where you're at?
From being a deputy sheriff, bailiff, I got my degree. I was probably about 40 years old. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do with my degree? So I got into pharmaceutical sales. I did that for about 8 years.
Right.
It was mostly medication.
Most of medication?
I launched Seroquel, Symbicort. I sold Nexium. I sold Pulmicort Respules. So at that point, it was 2008, and the whole economy tanked. The housing market crashed. And pharmaceutical companies started laying off. And at that point, I had moved to a new team. I was the highest paid rep, and I was the newest member of the team. So I was the first one they chopped. I got Micah Parson. And it was after that, I was contemplating getting back into pharma again, but during that time, I went through a lot of hard times. I lost my house, I lost my car. I was basically homeless. You're making
Also,
6
it was
figures one day.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because pharmaceutical reps make a lot of freaking money.
I was doing pretty well.
So your lifestyle just went
Just
okay.
crashed. I was applying for a lot of jobs. I didn't want to get into pharma anymore because I lost everything once I got downsized. Everything.
Got you.
House, car, family, everything. And I was overqualified for a lot of jobs. So I had a heck of a time finding a job.
That's terrible.
Doesn't that suck that you're overqualified for that?
How?
Yeah.
How?
I wish I would get an overqualified painter here at the shop.
So I was looking for a job, and one day I was actually going to church. And I was at a stoplight, and one of my buddies stopped at the stoplight, just coincidence. And he rolled down his window and he asked me, Sammy, what are you doing these days? And I was like, man, I'm looking for a job. And he said, well, I work for a home health and hospice agency. We're looking for a hospice rep. I was like, man, I've never worked in hospice. I don't know what it is. He's like, just come over, interview, and let's see how it goes.
Wow.
I went the next day and they offered me the job. Hey guys, that's how I started.
Was it a big change up having to go talk to these families in the beginning? You had to adjust, right?
Oh yeah, it was. So my first day in hospice, I asked the administrator, so what do I do? Do you have a list of doctors? I was used to the way pharma worked. She walked up to the front door and she opened the door. And I said, okay, Sammy, go bring us business.
Wow.
Wait. But you didn't know what to
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, well, who do I go see? What do I do? She's like, that's your job now. You go figure it out. Get out there and do it.
Really?
Yeah, that's how you
So
learn.
they grabbed the bull by the horns. And so
Yeah.
what did you do right there and then?
I think I started visiting some hospitals.
It went straight.
Went straight to the hospitals. Went straight for the.
for the kill.
Hey, yo, hey.
It takes
chill
a
with the
while.
Words.
Huh?
Chill with the wordplay.
What do you mean?
You said went for the kill. You heard him, right? You heard
Catch
him.
that one.
You heard him, right?
I didn't catch that
So
one.
it's a pretty good story on how to get into hospice. But also, I heard a crazy story about you. I heard a crazy story
Oh,
about
here
you.
we go.
That I heard that you got a knock on the door or a call on the phone saying, "Hey, I'm your son." Out of nowhere, too, right?
Which, by the way, he recently did that prank on one of our
I
employees.
actually did just recently prank one of my employees. One of the kids from the neighborhood. I paid him $5 to come and tell one of my guys that, you know, that, hey, my mom dropped me off. Like you're my dad. You know, and the guy was, you know, having his wife. So how does that story go about?
How old was the gentleman?
When I first met him, he was about 35.
Oh,
My age.
yeah, so like older.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful young man. I mean, so the way this happened is I was in hospice. I was walking into a family's house to go talk to. I was out in the parking lot actually, looking over my paperwork, and I got a message through Facebook, and it was his mom. And I was like, huh, I haven't talked to this woman in like
35
36
years, 9 months.
And she said, the first thing she says is, "Sammy, how's your heart these days?" And I was like, is this what I think it is? Is this what I think it is? Because 36 years prior to that, we dated. And around that time, we broke up. And somebody told me, "Hey, Sam, you know what? She's pregnant." And I thought, well, we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, if it's mine, I want to be involved in his life. And a few months later, I found out that she had had the baby. She put him up for adoption, and then she left town. So nobody told me
So
anything
no,
about
you
it.
didn't know anything.
I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything.
Oh man.
So then 36 years later, I get this message through Messenger. And she says, I said, I'm fine. Is this what I think it is? Because that moment brought me back to 36 years earlier.
Of course.
Immediately,
Yeah.
right?
Why else? Why else? Right.
Why else would she reach out to me? And she said, "Our son found me, and he wants to meet you."
Holy shit.
Yeah, so right away I made a U-turn and I went and sat back in my car and caught my breath. I was like, whoa.
It's a lot of
Were
trust
you
for that.
excited or scared? Like, were you
I was
like,
excited.
you were excited?
I was excited. I was really excited. I mean, you know, I have 3 other children that I just adore. So, I mean, you know, which dad wouldn't want to know
Yeah, yeah,
their
yeah, of
son,
course,
if,
of
you know?
course.
So I was excited and scared at the same time.
Yeah.
The reason I was scared because I hadn't told my other,
35 years old.
It's a lot of child support.
I honestly thought you were gonna say like 18.
no, 35 years.
Wow. So this is a man you're meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so he calls you.
Oh, wait, you're married at this time?
No,
Oh,
no,
because that would have been like,
no.
by the way.
No, I did tell my previous wives about that, just to, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, so you walked in with the shoe already.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, the reason I was scared is because I didn't tell my other 3 kids about it. I didn't think. I didn't
Wanted
think
to
it
make
was,
sure first, no?
Well, yeah, I didn't think it was. I didn't think that there was a possibility that maybe he was mine or that he would find me, especially since he was adopted. So I didn't want to upset the dynamics of my kids. You
Of
know?
course.
So I gave her my phone number. I told her to tell him to call me. So we started
from here?
talking. He's from Austin area.
Awesome.
And we started talking, and he started sending me some photos of, you know, documents, and we started talking, and I was walking very carefully because I didn't want him to feel like I was,
Questioning.
like questioning him, because if he was mine, I didn't want the opportunity of losing him.
Yeah, neglect.
Yeah, you know, and so one day out of the blue, it came out of him, and he was like, let's do a DNA test. I was like, thank you, God. That's what I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to. I
You didn't want to bring it up.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh shit.
I didn't want to hurt his feelings, you know. I didn't want to
Yeah,
feel
of
him,
course,
make him
of
feel
course.
bad. So that same day, I ordered a DNA kit sent to me and to him. We sent them the same day, and 2 weeks later, we were supposed to get the results via email, and I didn't get them. So I was like, "Bob, what's going on here? Maybe not." And then he called me, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, did you get the results?"
Damn.
And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Let me send them to you." And he's 99.9.
What's the procedure there? You weren't there. He's a man now.
Yeah.
Is he married? Is he?
He's
girlfriend?
married. He has
He's-
a wife,
Kids?
2 beautiful grandbabies.
You know what I mean? So you're coming into, boom, automatic
Instant family.
instant family. Yeah. And how's that process? You go visit him? Do you go
He came down the first time to visit me and my parents and my
with
kids,
his family?
with his family.
How was the whole thing?
Oh man,
I wish I could see you.
it was beautiful. You
Yeah.
know, the first thing that so they were at a hotel close to Corner Bakery over here on Airways,
Okay.
and I parked in the parking lot, and of course Eva had the camera on, and she was
Okay.
And the first thing that happened is my grandson, at the time, I think he was probably about 4 or 5. He saw me and he started running to me. And he just
Oh my
jumped out.
God.
I was like, oh my
And
God.
does your son look like you?
No, he doesn't.
And what about your grandson?
He doesn't either.
Okay.
None of
So
my kids look like me. You know, but they all have my smile, and they're all good kids, man. I'm very proud of them. I love them.
and how's the dynamic now? Like visiting? Like how's?
Yeah, I try to visit them about once a year. I go down there, I see my grandkids, I take them some Mexican candies, and we make them some chiles. My son loves enchiladas now. His name is Jared Newberry. Man, he's beautiful, beautiful young man. I tell him, man, good thing you left El Paso. If you had been in El Paso, you'd been like Juanito Estorga, because he's Jared Newberry.
Your current wife,
Uh-huh.
super cool with it?
Super cool with it.
That's awesome.
She loves
supportive.
Loves my kids, loves all my
How was she
grandkids.
with all this? Was she like excited?
Oh yeah, she's excited. Yeah, she's been excited. She's excited with all my kids, man. She's excited when we go out there. Actually, I think one time my son told me, like, hey Dad, if you ever split with Eva, just want you to know we're keeping her. So that's how much
You're out.
they like it. I'm out, yeah. I did tell my son, if I had known back then what I know now, I would have never let him go.
Of course.
I would have never let him go. I just want to make up for lost time with my son.
Oh, of course.
That's what I'm focused on, really. Yeah.
It's a long time.
Picture this. Picture this. Rosa de Guadalupe song. You just took a dive on the pool. Ding ding. What's happening? I just want to let you know, you're my dad.
Start looking for Marcos right away.
29-year-old.
You first start looking for Marcos in the camera. Where's this guy at? Where's this guy at? You know?
Nah, but
That's a crazy. Like, how do you react, right? Like,
And, the moment that I saw him, it's like instant love, bro.
yeah,
Instant love.
that's awesome. Let me ask you this for the people that are looking at. There might not be a lot of people that need. It's not a car wash.
Right.
It's not a bakery. It's not something that people could call you. Hey, I need you to help me out with this, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, even with just questions.
Yeah.
Recently, one of our good friends, Shorty, by the way, going through the situation of hospice, and because my wife works in
Yeah.
that situation, I give him your number.
Okay.
You help them out. We'll
Okay,
put it
yeah,
up. We'll put it up in a big.
Do it, please. Because a lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people don't know whether they qualify or not. They can call me anytime. Anytime, because,
there's no right answer.
there's no wrong answer, right answer.
Okay.
Even if it's just for information. I have I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I've got contacts in equipment and foster homes and nursing homes, in everything. So, so everybody needs a little bit of help somehow, and I can help anybody with anything. Yeah, when they start seeing their abuelita, their dad, their mom falling a little bit more, they start seeing them losing weight. They start needing help eating and walking.
There's signs.
There's signs, or they even start going in and out of hospitals. They no longer want to see their doctors anymore. And sometimes the signs aren't there. But sometimes even just one sign may be there, but we're like, no, we don't see that. That's not happening. We don't want to accept that. But there's never a reason not to call. Information is information. It doesn't cost anything.
Thumbs up. They go to hospice, or thumbs down. They're still good to go.
Okay.
Manuelito, le voy a aplicar la vacuna. Manuelito, me asusta.
He's even flexing like Marcos.
Cállese, cabrón.
He's got the same shirt on too.
Hey.
Ya, madre.
Ya, fue todo, mi rey. Asustaste a la señorita, Manuel. Ah, que chingada, tu madre y todo.
All right, Sammy, so.
That's a thumbs down.
He doesn't need hospice? He doesn't need hospice.
No, that's
No hospice, he's still good. All
Qualifying.
right. Next guy. Oh man, here. He is. He's drunk looking at himself in the mirror. He's just old looking at himself in the mirror.
He's just looking at. Oh, there he is. He's looking at himself.
No, he's trying to let the guy pass.
He's trying to let the guy pass. He's trying to pass. He's trying to pass. But he thinks this is. Look at him, then he tells him to go. Go ahead. Do it.
He's trying to push him.
What do you call it? Schizophrenia? Was that big?
That's just being drunk.
That is, man.
That's just being
I
drunk.
don't think he's drunk, brother. He doesn't have anything in his hand.
I hear music. I see people in the back.
I see a drum set. I see a drum. What do you think right there, Sammy?
Yeah,
Does he need hospice?
that's a thumbs down too, man. He's too spicy to be.
Too spicy. No hospice needed. All right. Go. Like a big go break. What is it? You got it.
The oldest trick in the book.
Sammy, you grew up in the Northeast. A lot of fighting.
That's the norm out there. That's what made it funny for me.
That's not hospice. That's just hospital.
All right, one more. Ready?
Oh man. Sorry, dude.
Sammy, hospice. If you need the help, family members, Remarkable is your company to go to. Contact Sammy. The information is gonna be up here somewhere. Holler at your boy. Thank you guys.
Manuelito, le voy a aplicar la vacuna.
Usted con el está chingando.
Manuelito, la
Cállese, cabrón. Ya pues, no pelees, no te enojes. Ya, todo, mi rey. Asustaste a la señorita, Manuel. Ah, que chingada tu madre y todo.